Hi, I'm Dan Cutler, and welcome to Cutting Things into Perspective. For the afternoon's entertainment, we will be having a discussion on the link between Ebola virus and the pain and suffering in Christianity. Joining us in the studio today will be Rory O'Day, a very well-acclaimed minister of the Church of England, and Harrison Rees, who is the head scientist that is following and working on the Ebola virus that is quickly becoming an international health hazard. We will be also accepting calls from people willing to share their own views. Thank you for having me, Dan. As you said, I am one of the ministers of the Church of England, and have been for about 27 years. I've explained the same question that has and will continue to keep coming up time and time again about how God lets his followers suffer. And this afternoon I will help the listeners cut up and digest the relationship between the suffering of Ebola virus that my friend Harrison is very knowledgeable on.
Rory, and thank you for having me, and for letting me help you cut up and decipher this debate, Mr. Cutler. I work at the International Healthcare Institution of Viruses, and I'm the head researcher on the Ebola virus case that is killing millions of people worldwide. It is causing a tremendous amount of suffering to its victims and the family of its victims.
And can you please give us a quick brief on why the Ebola virus is cutting into the population centerfold?
Ebola is one of the most deadliest diseases that we've come across in our time, with up to 90% of its cases resulting in death. The virus has no cure, and rigorous quarantine measures are used to stop its spread, as well as high standards of hygiene for anyone who might come into contact with the sufferers. Symptoms of Ebola appear as sudden onset of fever, intense weakness, muscle pain, headache, and sore throat. This is followed by vomiting, intense diarrhea, rash, impaired kidney and liver function, and in some cases both internal and external bleedings. The effects of the disease normally appear between 2 and 21 days after the infection. It is transmitted to people from wild animals and spreads in the human population through person-to-person transmission. Outbreaks have a case fatally rate up to 90%. This disease can be passed between people by direct contacts, through broken skin, mucous membranes, with the blood, secretions, organs or other bodily fluids, or infected people, and indirect contact with environment contaminated with such fluids. Unsafe sex will contaminate this and get you diseased.
So Rory, why does this happen? If God was so great, why would he let this virus cut up and destroy so many innocent Christians' lives? You'll find out right after this ad break. Thanks, gents.
Hey, bro. It's easy for Leo. Nah, no way, bro. Oh, fathers too. Hey, Izzy. He can't hear you, bro. He's blasting his music. When he plays the All Blacks, he'll be facing the music. Hey, you want to do some abs? What's the time? Time to lose again. You'll be punching above your weight against the All Blacks, bro. Wallabies? Don't you mean wannabes? You better get used to being up that creek without a paddle. That's the only cup you'll be taking home, bro. Gets the ball, offloads, 2 steps, flicks it back inside, gets the ball back. Step 1, step 2, and he's. Oh. And he's there.
We're back with Christianity, a myth or a legend or truth. That why question goes back thousands of years. It is asked in the Old Testament by Job and the writers of the Psalms, and it was especially relevant during the 20th century, where we witnessed 2 world wars, the Holocaust, genocides in the Soviet Union and China, devastating famines in Africa, the killing of fields in Cambodia, the emergence of AIDS, and the genocide of Rwanda, and the ethnic cleansing of Kosovo. And the 21st century didn't start any better. There was a 9/11, and now there are Syrian slaughters, and on and on. Why all of this if there's a loving and powerful God? Why do bad things happen to good people? Jesus was honest. He told us the truth. He said in John 16:33, "You will have suffering in this world." He didn't say you might. He said it is inevitable to happen. But God is not the creator of evil and suffering. so it is not his job. But if God is not the author of tragedy or evil or death, where did they come from? Well, God has existed from eternity past as the Father, Son and the Holy Spirit, together in a relationship of perfect love. So love is the highest value of the universe. And when God decided to create human belongings, he wanted us to experience love, but to give us an ability to love. God had to give us free will to decide whether to love or not to love. Why? Because love always involves a choice.
I've got a question for the scientist.
Yes?
Can the Ebola virus be stopped? Frankly, no, it cannot. Due to the long incubation period, it makes it very hard to know whether you've got it. It's very hard not to pass it on if you don't think you've got it. Then why doesn't God stop it?
Because God believes in free will. He didn't create all these evil things. He created the people that perform these evil things. We have the power to stop it ourselves by making the right decision and learning from our mistakes. But some things like this Ebola virus will have to be toughened out, and it's about picking ourselves up after we fall down. And if we can do that, then we can beat anything. Thank you for being on our show tonight, Rory and Harrison. We appreciate your thoughts and discussions, and we'll take what you said into deep account.